is because I want you to speak up. Okay, this is more of the speaking skills, okay? So I will be Han and you will be Tuan. Did I pronounce it correctly, right? Tuan? Hi, Lloyd.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. Did I pronounce this name correctly? Is it Tuan?
Tuấn.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's saying Tuan is fine. Okay. So we already discuss this? I don't think we did. Not yet, right? We did not discuss this yet, or we did not learn this yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will be Han and you will be Tuan. Okay. We are going to learn. We are going to read it loudly. And please tell me if you do not understand any of the words, and I will explain it to you. Okay. So I will be Han and you will be Tuan. Okay. How many people are there in your family? Bless you.
There's my dad, my mom, my sister, and a younger brother. That's a total of 5 people, including me.
Okay, that's quite a big family.
What about your family?
Oh, it's just me and my mother, but my father had already passed away, but we have a poodle named Mickey.
At least you've got 3 members in the family. I know some people who do not have anyone at all.
Okay, so do you have any words that you're not familiar or your words that you don't know? I will explain it to you.
What will you? What
Yes.
you clean?
Uh, One more time, okay? I'm asking you if there is or there are words that you don't understand, and I will explain it to you.
No.
Or words that you don't understand, I will explain it to you.
No, there are no words.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Um, but I will ask you questions, okay? This is you already. I'm going to ask you, this is you already, okay? How many people are there in your family,
There are 4 people in my family.
including yourself?
Yeah, including me.
Okay. So, you have a brother, right?
I
An
don't.
older, you don't have
I don't have
a younger,
brother.
okay, younger sister.
Yeah. I have a
Yes, okay.
younger sister.
Younger sister. Because I like a mixing you with my other, my other students. So, okay, my other student have a older brother, okay? He had an older brother, so I thought that was you. Okay. So do you have any pet at home? Do you
Um,
have any pet at home?
there are some pets in my home.
Mm-hmm. In your home, in your hometown, right? Not
My
not
home.
where you live. Uh-huh. Not where you live. Because you're not living with your family, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh. Because they are in the a village or mountain?
Yeah. My home
Yes.
in the northwest of Vietnam.
Yes. Yes, okay. But you're in the city, right? That's why you're living alone. You're living alone, okay, right? Living in alone in the city.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the words that you need to add to your vocabulary. Okay, at least means not less than a particular number or amount. So here's the Vietnamese translation. Definitely you know all this, okay? No
Yeah.
doubt. Okay. So pass away,
Yeah. Is
yes, like
dying.
uh-huh. Dead already or okay, 6 and children. Okay. So here in number 4, excuse me. So here in number 4, you bump. This is supposed to be bumped. Okay. You bumped, like you came across. You came across with your childhood friend.
Yeah.
Uh, Still,
I think
still
I
don't
think
know.
we we have done this
Yes,
the
that's why
last
I'm
lesson.
asking you. That's why I'm asking you if we did. Because I feel like we did already. Hold on a bit. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be 4. See? We're supposed to do number 4. That's why I feel like I asked you right if we already finished with this because I feel like we did. So, okay. So, number 4. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so you can see this now, right?
Yeah.
Right? Is it? You can see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So this one, do you know what do you call this one? This place.
This is a field of
It's a terraces. It's a terraces. We actually have this in the Philippines, the same like this. It's the same like this, okay? I forgot. Wait. Uh-huh. I'm actually looking at it. These terraces were built by the Hmong ethnic minority. Did I pronounce it correctly? Right? Rice terraces view. Do you want me to share my screen so you will know what I'm talking about? Yes.
I don't I don't see your
Yes.
picture.
Okay.
Fully.
Okay. So this is it. This is the one that I'm talking about, right? Uh-huh. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Can you? So this is
Yes.
what I'm talking about. I don't know what is the name of this place. Mm-hmm.
Wait. See when I'm right.
Yes. Oh, here.
We can see it in the north of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm. Where can we find this? Which part of Vietnam is this? Is it
Mm.
in north or south? Or
In,
in the
in
middle?
the
Okay. So this is in Vietnam and you will be surprised that we have like this in the Philippines. Okay? So I'm going to show you. See, this is in the Philippines.
yeah.
Yes, and it is part of the eighth wonder of the world. Mm-hmm.
It's like it is the same in Vietnam.
Yes, it's the same in Vietnam. Exactly. Uh-huh. So it's amazing that we have the same scenery. Okay. Yes, because we are neighbors, okay? We have like the same ancestors. My God, this is beautiful. I want to go here. Okay, so anyways, um switch again. Okay, here. So this is what we are going to learn, okay?
Mm.
Ah, this name is really hard to pronounce. This is very hard to pronounce. Okay, I will be this person and you will be this one, okay?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Japan?
No, I haven't, but I'm planning to go to Osaka next summer.
Okay. Oh, you should swing by Kyoto. It's a historic city and there's a lot of places to see.
I see. What's the food like in Japan?
Japanese food is amazing and all cities are clean and there are many traditional places to visit.
That sounds inviting. I'm looking forward to the trip.
Okay. So, have you ever traveled outside Vietnam?
Mm, yeah. I have gone to Chinese.
To China?
Yeah, actually China.
Yes. So, which part of China? Which part of China?
Right?
Which part?
Part.
What place?
Um,
What place of
it's a province in the south of China.
so can you please tell me the name of the province?
In Vietnam is Vân Nam. You know.
No. Oh, there's a Vietnamese
Yeah.
name for a Chinese place in China place?
Yeah.
Okay, so amazing. Can you search for it? So maybe I am familiar with that.
Can you say again?
Can you search for the Chinese name?
Chinese name.
Yes,
Chinese name or English name?
yes.
Jesus. Yeah. This.
Yunnan province.
Yeah.
Yes. I haven't been to China, okay? I haven't been to China, but I have been to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So I went to Hong Kong. That's my first. That's not a country, but it is somehow a country, anyways. So I've been to Hong Kong, but it's already like 13 years ago.
Yeah. 13.
Yes, 13 years ago, before I got married. Okay, before I got married, I went to Hong Kong and I spent my birthday there with my friend.
Yeah.
Okay, she invited me. We stayed there for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
2 weeks in Hong Kong
Yeah.
because she have family
Yeah.
living in Hong Kong, so we have a place to stay. So I don't need a lot of money to spend renting in a hotel. So I'm very lucky to have a friend who have a family in Hong Kong. So
Yeah.
we went to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland and we went to Ocean Park and we walked. Oh, it's so hot. It's so hot in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yes, I went there during summer, so it's very hot. Like there's no wind. There's no wind. It's very humid, so it's very hot. So what did you do in Yunnan province?
I go to travel some um, beautiful place and go to supermarket
Uh-huh.
and we also try some food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So is it very similar to the food? Is the food in China very similar to Vietnamese?
Oh yes, but it have a little bit different
Mm-hmm. But
or spicy.
yes,
Spicy.
Vietnamese love spicy food, right?
Yes, but in China, it's
Mm-hmm.
more spicy.
Oh, more spicy.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, because Philippines, okay, in the Philippines, there's a lot of uh, Chinese. Okay, there's a lot of Chinese. I actually have 1/8 Chinese blood. Okay,
Yeah.
my mother is 1/4 Chinese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a Chinese blood. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have a Chinese blood, and it is very common to Filipinos to have a Chinese blood because before
Yeah.
before long time ago, Chinese people already trading with Philippines.
Trading. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Chinese already here until now.
Yeah.
Until now. And we have the oldest Chinatown
Yeah.
in the whole world. Okay,
Yeah.
except for China, of course, and next here in the Philippines, the oldest Chinatown is in the Philippines. So it means Chinese already been here very, very long time ago. Trading, yes. So, okay. So that's the first and last country you visited? Is that China is the first and last country you visited?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So very interesting that you choose to visit China. Because I know Vietnamese always go to Thailand.
I go to Chinese because
Uh-huh.
it's near my hometown.
Whoa.
Just 30 kilometer.
30 kilometers.
Yeah.
You just do land border. Just land border. You don't need to ride an airplane. Just
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so just a bus?
Yeah. We go to Chinese by motorbike.
Motorbike.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that you I didn't know that. Okay.
We
You know, how can I say this? Okay. Because Philippines, we don't have land borders.
yeah.
We don't have land borders. So whenever we want to go visit some other countries, we
Yeah.
need to ride an airplane.
Yeah.
And Vietnam is very lucky to have China, Laos,
Mm.
Thailand, and Cambodia.
No. We just have land border with 3 countries:
Three
Chinese,
countries.
Laos, and Cambodia. Yeah,
Okay, not Thailand, right?
yeah,
Thailand, I think you need to cross a river. Is it there's a river between Thailand and Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken.
No. See, Thailand, Vietnam just has a sea border with
Sea
Thailand.
border,
Yes,
but
not
not
Thailand.
very far.
Yeah,
But not, yes. I think you just need to ride a ferry. If I'm not mistaken, you just need to ride a ferry going to Thailand. Is that right? Like not a big boat, not a big ship, just like a medium-sized ferry or a medium-sized ship to
yeah,
cross to Thailand. Not the very big ship.
yeah.
Okay. Anyways, um. Oh, see, imagine that you can go to three different countries with just riding a motorbike or a bus or a car. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Okay. So 30 minutes away from your hometown, that's very near China.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Okay. So why don't you try to go to Laos, because that's also land border? Is it in the middle of Vietnam? Is it in the middle of Vietnam? If I Okay, I'm going to search for it. So, ooh, there, I found it. Okay. Oh, there. Oh, see, it's actually near Hanoi. My my chow. Is that correct? This one is very near. It's amazing. You see, it's very easy to travel when
Yeah.
there's a land border. How do you say this? My chow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
have
what's this?
for tomato.
Oh, okay. So Vin, is this Vin? VINH.
Vinh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I also have gone to Vinh.
Uh-huh. Oh, there's the Halong Bay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's in Hanoi. I always I always hear this place. It's one of the popular place in Vietnam, Halong Bay. So, oh, there's Da Nang. Those are the popular places, right? Hoi An.
Mm,
Hoi An is in the middle. It's in the middle of Vietnam.
yeah.
Hoi An. I I also hear that a lot of times. It's like if you want to travel in Vietnam, go to Halong Bay, Da Nang, Hoi An, and okay. So there. Um, before before when I still don't have my temporary residence card. Okay, I need to cross Cambodia before. So I need to cross Cambodia so I can stay longer in Vietnam. But
Yeah.
then I was able to fix my papers. Okay. So I did not work in Vietnam illegally. I'm a legal worker. I'm a legal worker in Vietnam, so I pay my taxes there. So Yes. So that's right. Oh, there's Dalat. Da Nang is it's the cold place. Is it the cold place?
Cool.
Yeah. Is it Da Nang? It's a cold place or Dalat?
Dalat. Dalat is cool.
Oh. Uh-huh.
It is
Okay.
high province.
Okay. It's a high province. We actually have um a place like that. High place. It's called Baguio. Okay, Baguio City.
Mm.
It's a cold place. Sometimes it reaches sometimes it reaches -1 when it's when it's really cold. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Oh, there's Fukuk Island. Have you been in Fukuk Island? No, not
No,
yet.
I,
Uh-huh.
I
So, okay. I never thought that Fukuk is near like like an island. So I thought it's just, not an island. Okay. So let's not talk about this. Geography of Vietnam. Okay. So what are the words that you don't understand here? Or phrases that you don't understand?
no.
Okay, everything you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, swing by to visit a place quickly, especially on your way to another place.
Swing.
Okay? Swing
Yeah.
by. Okay. So you are familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
Just or okay. So here are the few words, okay, that you need to remember: amazing,
Yeah. Amazing.
historic, and traditional. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes. So these are the Vietnamese translation, and it will be easier for you to understand, I guess. I guess. So amazing is actually like an expression like, wow, it's amazing, right? So how are you going to say this? Tuyet boy? So when you're happy, it's like tuyet boy. Are you going to say that? Is that how you say it?
Amazing.
Yes. Yes.
This one.
Yes. So uh when you are excited or you want to say amazing in Vietnamese, you say this one, right?
This one.
So like this amazing is a how do you say this? An expression. Mm-hmm. Okay, so number 4, if you were not Vietnamese, okay, for example, if you were not Vietnamese, what nationality would you have wanted to be? Explain your answer. Okay. So if you are not Vietnamese, what do you like to be?
This one. I think it is a nation in Europe, like
Again?
S- Switzerland.
You Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we have the same place. I wanna be Swiss. Okay.
Swiss.
People living in Switzerland are called Swiss.
Swiss.
Okay, Swiss.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why do you want to be Swiss, or why do you want to live in Switzerland?
I think, because I I think in Switzerland has many beautiful places.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. And Switzerland, they only have 7 million people living in Switzerland. So there's not a lot of people.
Mm.
Okay, there's not a lot of people, and Switzerland are very peaceful
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
They
peaceful.
actually don't, yeah, they actually don't have military in Switzerland. Please research. If I'm not mistaken, I want to know. I want to make sure if that's correct. That's Switzerland. Switzerland have an army. So there. Okay, they have a mandatory military service for all able-bodied male citizen. Only the boys, only the men
Mm.
who will have mandatory military. Okay, Vietnam doesn't have mandatory military. Do you have a military training during your university years?
No.
Oh, why?
Can you
Why?
ask again?
Remember in Korea, you like Korean dramas, right? You like K dramas.
No, no. I love to watch a
Yes.
Korean film.
Yeah, okay. Korean
Just
films, Korean dramas, that's the same. And you are very familiar that Koreans have mandatory military service, right?
yeah,
Right? They have mandatory military service. Like they need to train in the military.
yeah,
Men, yes, so men. So also in Switzerland. Good thing I'm a girl, so I don't need to have a mandatory military service.
yeah,
Okay, so they have. Ooh. Okay, so Switzerland, they do have a military army. Okay, so they have an army there. One of the best
mm,
army in the whole world. Wow. Okay. So anyways, but but in Switzerland, it's a neutral country. Do you know what a neutral country means?
Can you ask again?
Uh,
This what?
neutral.
Ne-
Neutral. Okay, I'm going to check.
Neutral.
Yes, neutral country. Neutral.
It's like has many uh, tree, garden, and green.
No. It means neutral means neutral. Okay, country. I'm charting it right now. So a neutral country, it means they don't have friends, they don't have enemies.
Yeah,
Okay. So not like Russia and not like America. They are enemies. They are enemies. Yes. So I was wondering, bec- I actually like I want to know um Russia I think has how do you say this? The Russian have a big participation during Vietnam War. Is that right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. I think Vietnam help Russian help Vietnamese during the Vietnam War.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I actually read a few history of your countries. Like I know when I was growing up, uh, I, I heard about the Vietnam War. So
Mhm.
when was the Vietnam War ended? What year?
I think 1975.
1975.
Yeah,
1975, that's 48 years
yeah.
ago. 48 years ago. Oh my God, 48 years ago. So I actually like there's a conflict between the north and the south of Vietnam. Is that right?
Yes, in the last it's early. Uh, in the last is 19 50 54.
1954. What happened to 1954?
Yeah. Um, after Vietnam got a, a victory in Điện Biên Phủ, you know,
In what? Again, one more time?
Điện Biên Điện Biên Phủ.
No.
Um, Vietnam Army sao nhỉ? Đã
Okay, try to explain it to me. This is nice because you are talking. This is communication, okay? That's why I keep on asking you and asking you. Don't get annoyed, okay? Do not get annoyed that I keep asking you questions because I want you to talk. This is the reason why I'm asking you questions because I want you to talk. Okay, so there's a conflict between north of Vietnam and south of Vietnam. That's right.
yeah.
Okay, so uh, people from the north um, joined with China, isn't it?
No.
Okay. So what's the reason why north and south uh, are fighting or having conflicts? So what's the reason?
Um, in the north, Vietnam Army defeated the
Mm-hmm.
U.S. enemy in
Mm-hmm.
in the Điện Biên Phủ victory.
Okay, okay, okay. So that's the name of the war. And then,
Um, Vietnam and U.S. signed a contract to
mm-hmm.
to to get to got the de- independency in,
Oh,
in the north, just in the north. Yeah.
okay. So there's a treaty. Okay, the contract that you're saying, it's called treaty. Okay, it's a treaty. It's a written agreement.
Yes.
Okay,
Agreement.
that's yes. There's written agreement that uh, the America the Americans will give back the freedom of Vietnam.
Yes.
Okay.
Just in the north of Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just the south of Vietnam or the whole Vietnam.
The north of Vietnam.
The
The south
north,
of Vietnam.
the north of
The
Vietnam.
the war will be continued. Oh, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay. So only the north,
Yeah.
but south is still under the U.S.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. So. Why? How long it took? Like that's really long time. It's 20 plus years. Is it 20 plus years?
21.
21 years.
Yeah.
USR in Vietnam. But I was wondering why Vietnamese still did not learn English. Americans stayed in Vietnam for 21 years, but still many Vietnamese did not learn English. Why is that? You don't have an idea as well?
At that time, people in Vietnam um, hate hate US and hate English. I think they don't
Okay.
know that learn English is an opportunity in the future.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I understand. I understand. There's a logic
But
behind it.
there are a little people learned English and very well at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Uh-huh. So actually, we are also colonized. Okay, we are also colonized by the Americans. Mm-hmm. But they gave us freedom to have our own government.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And then, and maybe that's the reason why we speak English. Mm-hmm. And we also follow their school curriculum.
Yeah.
So it's always been English always been a part of our school curriculum. So that's why in a very young age we already learn how to speak English. That's the reason. Mm-hmm. But before the Americans, we are colonized by the Spanish. In the Philippines, we are colonized by Spanish or Spaniards for 300 years. More than 300 years, we are under the Spanish colonization.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why our language is very similar to Spanish.
Yeah.
Hmm. And our country's name, the Philippines, is we got the name from King Philip,
Yeah.
King Philip of Spain. That's why Philip and Philippines
Yeah.
same. Yes, that's where we got our name, our country's name. Hmm. So what's the meaning of Vietnam? The name Vietnam, what's the meaning?
Vietnam. Nam is the sound.
Uh-huh.
I think it's compared with China.
Chinese?
Yes, because Chinese is a big country, so
Uh-huh.
Vietnam is the sound of Chinese
Ah, okay.
sound.
South of China.
Yes, and Viet mm, is is a a nation.
Oh, nation.
Nation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so that's how Vietnam name came from. That's amazing. South of China. Nam is south of China, right? And Viet is nation.
Nation of major people.
Okay. So I think like the north of Vietnam, you have more of the Chinese culture
Yeah,
compare in people from the south.
yeah,
So people from the north, you are more traditional compared to people in the south.
yeah.
Is that right? Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah,
because
they're like,
in the South, people affected. Uh, people is affected by America, U.S.
the
Yes.
Americans. Yes, because the Americans stayed in the south longer
Yeah,
than in the north.
yeah, and international people affected by Chinese more Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. In the north.
yeah,
Yes. And I think that it's like when you see people in the north and in the south, you're gonna see the difference. They say that people in the north, you are taller
yeah,
than people in the south. Is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I,
And you have a lighter color in the north than in the south.
lighter. Yeah,
Lighter color, skin color. Yes.
with
And
in the not
a little bit. Yes.
cooler.
Yes, because it's cooler.
Yeah,
Yes, it's cooler. And because you have like some of people in the north, they have Chinese blood or not.
I I think not. I don't not.
You're not sure. You're not sure if.
I think um people in the north of Vietnam
Mhm.
it migrate from Chinese,
Mhm.
but very long
Very
time.
long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So what is the participation? I want to know what's the participation of Russia, like the Russians during the war in Vietnam. What is the participation of Russians in the Vietnam War?
Participation.
Mm-hmm.
What's it mean? Part-
It's like, what is their role in the Vietnam War? Yes.
uh, I think Vietnam and Russian is the same stick
Again, one more time.
holistic.
Policy.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it is it is socialist nation.
Uh,
Vietnam and Russia is the same. You know, socialist.
I chat it. Type it to our group.
Uh,
Okay. Please type it to our group. What are you trying to say? Socialism.
yeah,
Okay, socialism. Yeah, I think um when I arrived in Vietnam, I saw the Soviet flag, the red flag, the Soviet flag. Do you know what I'm saying? The Soviet flag?
what?
Soviet. Soviet flag.
Okay, so yeah, I know.
Yeah. So Soviet flag. I was surprised. Like what?
So
Soviet. Please search the flag, Soviet flag. I've seen it around in the city.
yes, I know.
Yes. Okay. So I was like,
Ah,
oh, I know, because Vietnam is actually a communist country.
yeah, you know Ho Chi Minh?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Ho Chi Minh
I
have
li- I w-
learned
I.
more in Russian.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he come back to Vietnam to help Vietnam.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Before Ho Chi Minh, the old name of Ho Chi Minh is Saigon, right?
Yeah,
So they changed it to Ho Chi Minh.
yeah,
Ho Chi Minh is actually what? The national hero of Vietnam?
yeah. Hero, yeah, a hero, yeah, a hero.
Okay. He's a national hero of Vietnam, and it's like he's the one who talked talked to the right people for the war to stop. Is that is that it? The Ho Chi Minh? The Ho Chi Minh guy. Yes. I'm so sorry. I only know a little of your history. Yeah, unfortunately, I just know a little of your history. And Ho Chi Minh is, I think, an athlete. He plays football. Does he?
Yes,
Does he? Does he play football? I've read. I think I read it somewhere else. Okay, Ho Chi Minh, former president of North. Oh, okay. Why only the North? Why only the
uh, what?
because I've read Ho Chi Minh is the president of the North of Vietnam.
I think at that time, the uh, South will
Still
be,
under the US.
yeah.
Okay. So he only
The first name, I think it is history name, a name in history.
mhm.
So now it's in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why? Since since Ho Chi Minh is the former president of the North of Vietnam, why it was named in the South? Why is it in the why it became the name in the South? Like Saigon is very popular. The
Yeah.
name Saigon is very popular more than the country Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yes. When you say like, oh, when you ask someone about Vietnam, they don't know. But when you say Saigon,
Yes.
it's automatically yes, we know that place or we know that country.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Because of the popular Miss Saigon, right? The Miss Saigon. Do you
Mm.
know that? Have you
I,
watched it? Have you watched the Miss Saigon? No, you did not.
no.
Okay, so actually we are finished. Okay, our time is finished, and I really like this kind of conversation, asking about history. I'm crazy about history. I'm so sorry. Yes. So see you on Saturday again. Okay. So bye bye.
Goodbye.